Hey guys, what's up? My name is Justin or Prez, and welcome to this another NHL 26 video. So this is kind of like a wish list regarding NHL 26. We have done a video on the overall changes or the overall stuff that I wanted to see in NHL 26 in the last video that was uploaded on Friday. If you guys haven't seen that video, here's an annotation so you guys can click and go watch that video. But I highly recommend you guys wait till the end because that will be the last video. That will be the recommended video at the end, so you guys can click it, you guys can watch it, then you guys can comment there on your wish list for NHL 26, or you guys can put them here as well. So since this channel is mostly focused on just be a pro when it comes down to NHL and all that stuff, that's what we're mostly going to talk about in this video. So I have a couple of things here. It's not quite 10 things. I know the thumbnail, it might have changed by now. I think both thumbnails have changed. But anyways, it is close to the top things that I want to see in NHL Be a Pro to possibly make it better as a content creator and better as a viewer overall, or just if you're just playing it and stuff like that as me, just not recording it and put it on YouTube and all that stuff. But here's some changes I want to see to NHL Be a Pro as a content creator and as a overall enjoyer of Be a Pro game mode overall. I've been playing it ever since they introduced it in NHL. Been playing it ever since. And there's some things that I want to see changed in Be a Pro because it's one of the most, I would say, one of the most popular game modes when it comes down to the NHL games overall. And I would like to see some changes to this game mode, just like some huge changes, like we're gonna list off here. So, kind of like the first one of the last video, kind of like branching storylines with meaningful choices, dynamic career path. Choose between the top pick with pressure, or a late round underdog, or an overseas phenomenon. Key decision points: choose agents, sponsors, or whatever demand a trade, all affecting media, fans, coaches, trust, all that stuff. So I would love to see that type of level of detail, especially when it comes down to like having, like, you could choose an option. Like you could choose like 3 options, like it's like I said here, top picks with pressure, late round underdogs, or even an overseas like phenomenon. So basically Connor McDavid of the European hockey world. But like I like to choose my own agents. That would be actually pretty cool. Choose my own sponsors. Maybe it comes down to like, as you guys know, in NHL now, in Be a Pro, you kind of earn money and you could buy like apartments. You can buy certain upgrades for your Be a Pro to help get to like 99 overall, which I haven't seen yet in Be a Pro. But anyways, maybe you want to sign a deal with Bauer or CCM or Warrior or True Hockey or like Sherwood. I can't believe Sherwood's still around. Sherwood is still around. I cannot believe it. But anyways, maybe you want to choose your stick partner, and they actually give you a cut each week or each month. They give you a cut of the proceeds, whatever they earn from sales while you're wearing their gear. You know what I mean? Kind of like the real NHL. Multiple endings. This would actually be pretty cool. Retiring a legend. Bounce around teams, or become a GM after playing. That'd actually be pretty cool. You kind of transition your save into like a GM. That'd actually be kind of cool. Also, I would love to see this is not part of the whole thing, but I would love to see this in Be a Pro, where you can actually continue your Be a Pro from the previous game. So from NHL 25, you can import your pro from NHL 25 and put him into NHL 26. You guys can continue that career along with your pro. I think that would actually be pretty cool, because sometimes some players I've seen, they play like an entire year, and it takes them an entire year to actually go through 1 year of Be a Pro, kind of like in real life. They kind of treat it like real life. That's realism when it comes down to it. I will never try to do that. I'll never do that as like a YouTube series, because it will take way too long and it will be way too boring. But anyways, I've seen some people actually do that. So I used to do that way back in the day before I actually started doing YouTube, and before doing NHL Be a Pro when I started in NHL 15 here on YouTube. I did it way before anybody. Like, I did that. I played the entire year, or it took me an entire year to do 1 year of Be a Pro, and it was absolutely wonderful. I actually played the days that like the team was playing on, like the whole calendar. I was playing on those exact days and stuff like that. I had actually treated like a real like NHL pro back when I was a kid. So, but anyways, I'd love to see that. So maybe like you can transfer your save from NHL 25 to Be a Pro to NHL 26. I would actually love to see that. So this kind of rolls into the personality system 2.0. That's what I'm naming it. Expand your current personality, like star, team player, maverick, etc., into dynamic personality growth. Choices and performance affects your rep over time. Locker room chemistry, your attitude affects your teammates' morale, line assessments, and trades. Off-ice impact, attitude spreads or shapes fans' following, endorsements, and social media buzz. They kind of do that now in NHL 25, but we don't really see it because we don't. I skip all that stuff because it's boring. It's been the same for years, and it's not interesting. So what I would love to see with Be a Pro is kind of like off-ice training. Like when you're on the off season, maybe you could jump onto the ice like once every 2 weeks, and you do certain type of drills in between. And like as you go through the off season, and you do these little things, you do these little mini games, you earn XP, and you can rank up your player a little bit more before the new season starts and stuff like that. I actually would love to see that. Expanded career timeline, pre-draft phase. Sorry. Play in the World Juniors, the CHL playoffs, or the European leagues. So we kind of can play in the CHL playoffs before the draft and the European leagues before the draft. So I just put that in because I don't want to forget that we actually have that. Play in the World Juniors. I would love to play in the World Juniors before the draft. Actually, that'd be pretty cool to play for like Team Canada and kind of like boost your rating up a little bit when it comes before the draft. I would love to see that. Do interviews with GMs, personality traits, and training combine events. So combine events will actually be pretty cool before like the draft. You can see the scouts. I think they do this in Madden actually. I believe I did this 1 year in Madden where you kind of did the combine, you kind of did the sprinting, the throwing, and stuff like that because I was doing like quarterback. So I was mostly just doing throwing, but it kind of boosted my rating up into the draft. And I think MLB The Show did this as well. When it comes down to career mode, you can kind of boost your rating overall in the draft. I think 1 year, I seen that. And like the first year it came to Game Pass, or the first year that it came to Xbox, I believe they actually had that. Draft day experience, live draft coverage with reactions and presentation like the NBA 2K. I would actually love to see that. And another thing is with 2K, I'm trying to get a copy of NHL 2K09 for the Xbox 360. I have found a copy, and it's not too expensive. It's like $6, $7 on eBay. I also have to get an Xbox 360 controller because the one that I have, it's corroded inside because the battery's leaked. So I still have to get a 360 controller in that game, and maybe I'll do a video in NHL 2K9. So maybe we'll check that out in the future. But anyways, jumping into number 4, we're kind of making this video a little bit longer. I'm trying to get over 10 minutes because that's YouTube's thing for ads. I'm joking, guys. But anyways, I've off-ice life and decision making. This is kind of what I did before, kind of what I said before earlier in this video. You kind of do some off-ice stuff and you train and you stuff like that. And you sign with major brands like CCM, Bauer, Nike. Nike's not really part of the NHL anymore. I think they kind of moved. I think all the Nike stuff moved to like Bauer, pretty much. So each offering with different perks. Choose an agent that might help you with trades or media management. We can ready buy cars, donate to charity, all that stuff. We can do all that. Training and development choices. Pick between focusing on skating, shooting, vision, etc. with a robust mini-game system. Yes, I would love to see this in Be a Pro. Come on, EA. I would love to see a robust mini-game system when it comes down to either focusing on skating, shooting, or vision. That's pretty much just passing, avoiding hits, and stuff like that. So, so we're kind of going down the list here. I'm going to skip a couple of things because they don't really fit well with Be a Pro, in my opinion. I just wrote these things down. I think it'll be pretty cool to have, but looking at it now, it doesn't quite fit. But anyways, gameplay. Let's see. Oh, this will come down to coaches' challenges. When you're on the bench or when you're off the bench and the coach calls you to the bench during like the TV timeouts in NHL Be a Pro. I would love to see some little bit more of a context, like objective type of deal. Not just like get one assist and break out of the zone quickly or support the cycle. Like I want that in like the coach's challenge. Like, hey, once you try to get an assist this shift, or once you try to like break out the zone and stay out of the zone for a certain amount of time, and that timer will be at the bottom corner timing you. So like you have to stay on the other side of the ice for like a minute and a half, and then you got to proceed to do the cycle, the passing cycle that NHL players do when it comes down to like power plays and stuff like that. Just move the puck around and stuff like that. Unfortunately, even playing on the hardest difficulty in Be a Pro on Superstar, the AI doesn't understand that you want to do the cycle. Like it doesn't want to do the cycle. You try to pass it back to the defenseman, try to create the cycle, and the defenseman just shoots it right away. That's not what I've pictured when it comes down to NHL and when it comes down to defense and the team overall. When you look at real NHL players, I think EA should really take a look at this. Look at a real NHL power play. They're doing the cycle. They're doing the cycle perfectly. But when I'm on the ice and I try to do the cycle with them, it just breaks the system somehow, and they just shoot it randomly. They just shoot it like right on point. Just immediately shoot it, or just miss the pass completely and just goes right by them, and we lose the puck and we lose the zone advantage. They need to fix that in NHL 26. They really do need to fix the cycle when it comes down to passing the puck, especially on power plays. I would love to see it during just regular games. Like I would love to see it just during just regular play of game. But I don't know how it got all broken. And in the trailers and stuff like that, we see them passing around perfectly, and there's no there's nothing. There's no. What happened to that? Like, what happened to that update? Like, did you guys update it to remove all that? Because, I don't know, it made the game a little too hard for people. But, anyways, I would love to see the more, cycle when it comes down to plays overall. Getting into the zone and actually just passing the puck around, moving the puck around, getting the players out of position, the opposite team out of position, and possibly get a better shot opportunity than you would have just going skating to the zone, pass it once or twice, and then shoot. That's not happening in the NHL. That's not happening in the NHL. That should not happen in this game when it's supposed to simulate what an NHL player plays like. So, but anyways, enough ranting on about that. I know EA needs to fix a lot of stuff when it comes down to Be a Pro and the game overall, but just a little rant there. Sorry about that. But anyways, gameplay, world events integration. Now, world events integration includes, we won't see the Olympics, unfortunately, because that is copyrighted. We'll have to pay rights to the Olympic community, the Olympic academy or whatever it is. They need to pay a fee to have the Olympic symbols and all that stuff in the game. So unfortunately, that would not happen. World Cup, that could possibly happen because it's owned by the NHL. The NHL owns like the NHL World Cup, whatever. They own that. They own that type of event. All-Star Weekend includes in-career arcs. So every single year, maybe like once a year, they do All-Star, and then next year they do like the World Cup or the Four Nations, whatever, the Five Nations tournament. Whatever they do the Nations tournament, then that should sub out for the All-Star Weekend in the game. And that should alternate in between years. I would love to see that. I would love to see the World Cup of hockey or some iteration of that type of tournament where you play for your own country. And I believe I mentioned this in the last video that we did on Friday. But also include All-Star Weekend. Maybe you want to be part of like the fastest skater, or maybe you want to be part of the shoot contest. Or if you're a goalie, you want to do the one-on-one, the shootout challenge. Right? You want to be a part of that and actually be pretty awesome to have that in NHL. Kind of like a little break from just going to game to game to game to game to game over and over and over again and stuff like that. I would love to see that in NHL 26 be a pro. I probably know it's probably never going to happen. And the day that it happens, I'm going to freak out, and I'm actually going to freak out and actually like, oh my God, they actually listen to us. But it's like 4 years down the road, and they're like, oh my God, they listened to us. We said this 4 years ago, but they finally put it into the game. But anyways, live in-season events with special cutscenes and mini tournaments. Choose between playing for your home country or skipping to stay healthy. So that kind of goes in with like the All-Star Weekend, the World Cup, and all that stuff. So coming at the last one. Now, one of my most popular shorts here on my channel, one of my most popular YouTube shorts, is having like the first-person camera. Not quite the first-person camera, or like the third-person. I would just say the third-person camera when it comes down to it. So I labeled this short as the new camera angle for NHL 25, and I put a question mark and all that stuff, kind of like a little clickbaity, but it worked. It's got 12K views. So one of my most popular shorts ever created was like over the shoulder type of camera view, and it was actually pretty sick. But I wish they stayed on that camera angle. Unfortunately, the game doesn't stay quite on that camera angle the entire time. It kind of goes in and out, and it's kind of annoying. I would love to see like the third person overview, like camera overview, and stay on top of the person the whole time. Kind of like Gears of War, if you guys ever played Gears of War, or if you guys ever played like any shooter that has like a third person camera, kind of like GTA. That's a better thing, or Fortnite. Let's just put it out there. Everyone's played Fortnite. Everyone's seen Fortnite. So that camera angle, like over the shoulder type of camera angle, but for Be a Pro. And for any other game mode that you want to play on NHL. But I highly recommend it just for Be a Pro, because it'd be kind of annoying online. But anyways, if you guys like, I would love to see that. I would love to see that camera mode in NHL 26. I would love to see that. That's a pretty easy fix. That's a pretty easy add for EA to do. I'm pretty sure their team can add that camera view. Another thing is, with NHL 26, I would love to just see just an overall, just redo the entire thing from scratch. Like, start from brand new, work your way back to a new NHL Be a Pro. Because I think it's one of the most popular offline game modes when it comes down to NHL games. Alright guys, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys did, make sure you guys smash the like button. If you guys have any ideas for NHL Be a Pro when it comes down to the game mode and all that stuff, put it in the comments down below. Because I would love to see what you guys have regarding, or ideas regarding NHL Be a Pro overall. So if you guys have any ideas, put them in the comment section down below. And hopefully you guys have a wonderful day, and hopefully you guys subscribe if you guys haven't already. Make sure you guys hit that like button and all that stuff. I'll see you guys next time. My name is Justin or Prez. Peace out.